Cry, pack, cry, all the way back to Lambeau. Cry, pack, cry. That's what a lot of you Packer fans have been doing recently. Since
Surprised you know that song.
I mean, I did play as them in Madden, so I would get blasted all the time. But you know,
isn't it crazy how many people don't know the difference between college rules and NFL rules?
It is, and we'll get into that. But first,
Jesus Murphy.
we got some LCA teams to talk about. Let's start with the Pistons.
Yeah.
We said going into it, they had a tough stretch. Probably were only going to get a win.
I really hoped they were going to beat the Bucks.
They are still yet to play the Celtics. Right now, they are 1-2 in this stretch. They're still yet to play the Celtics again.
Was that planned, Sam, or
Not planned.
But yeah, they lost to the Bucks 128 to 107.
they lost to the Bucks 28 to 27?
Football score. I cut out the ones. I saw 28-7. I was rolling with it.
It wasn't a not close game. Like
Yeah.
it was. I remember there was a stage of it that they were very, very not close, and then I stopped watching.
And then they lost to the Celtics 130 to 120. Beat the Knicks. Let me double check where they are in group play.
17th. Should be second behind the Bucks, right?
They are second behind the Bucks.
Between them and the Bucks for the first seed.
I think I'm missing something because ESPN is just right to quarterfinals. The Pistons are not there.
Aw.
So don't understand what happened there.
Pure confusion out of you two has me giggling.
Wait,
Oh, it's the top? I thought it was the top two.
Oh. So the Pistons are in the quarterfinals.
They are not.
Huh? So what are they?
Out. They're not.
basketball team.
Well,
Only 4 teams from each.
I think they changed it from last season.
What?
Because last year I thought it was 6.
Are they not playing?
They aren't playing in the group in-season tournament anymore. Unfortunately.
It's okay. All it is just money for players.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to say you're in-season champs.
Yeah.
That counts for something. Who were the in-season champs last year? That's right. The Lakers. See where that got them.
Hey, motherfuckers play different when they know money's on the line. But when there's a ring on the line,
Nah.
fuck a ring.
I got one of them.
I mean, I don't really
Buy
have
one
too
now
much
for
to
the
add about the
jury's
Pistons. They're just kind of doing Pistons things at this point.
Piston's gonna piston.
They had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
They're kind of locked into what they're going to be this season. It's probably a just below 500 team.
Better than last year.
It is better than last year, so
Yep.
improvements. And
That's all we
that's
really ask for.
all you can ask for. So, swing it over to the Red Wings.
The wing tires. They tired Tony.
Cam Talbot's injury was as bad as we thought. He is out. Alex Lyon is on injury reserve, which means our worst fears were realized, and going into the game against Boston, the backup to Ville Husso was Sebastian Cosa. It sounds like he's been playing well in practice. They won't dare throw him on the ice. I think it's just going to be a stretch of Ville Husso getting absolutely dunked on for about 10 games. It's going to ruin the season if we haven't ruined it already. It is now the 4th straight loss, counting Boston, Ottawa, and Colorado, that we have lost by 1 goal. I see a lot of analysts talking about it's a problem with the goal scoring. Motherfucker, the system's broken. You found pairings that work. That Tarasenko, Berggren, Kasper line on the 3rd line. Fucking elite. You were missing Patrick Kane, replaced him with Tyler Mott, and it played the same. Like, the line matchups are working.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that Pat Kane might be dealing with an injury that's not being made known.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's why he hasn't really,
All of the issues that are actually pressing issues get pushed to the background, which is the only reason Derek Lalonde is still the coach of this team. It's the topic that never fucking ends. He needs to go. I won't even elaborate further on it in this episode. The team is playing well. They're playing close games like Colorado. Absolutely by no stretch of the imagination a bad team. Their goaltending has been questionable, but Georgiev had a good game. Boston, literally fighting with us for positioning in the Atlantic. Before that, Vancouver, one of the top teams in the West. It's difficult to justify them playing well when the results aren't shown.
Bye-bye, Gru.
Goals, games lost by a single goal is the story right now, and it's horrific.
So, if we're going just off of games lost by a goal, you can go back to November where the Devils, they lost by 1.
Yep.
The Bruins, they lost by 1 again.
Yep.
The Sharks, they lost by 1 again, and
Yep.
you have to go all the way back to the Kings where the last time the Wings did not lose a game by a single goal.
And you know what happened in that game? We were down 3-0, pulled a goalie, Dylan Larkin scored, Athlone to call a timeout, got benched. Immediately gave up an empty netter to Adrian Kempe. So we didn't learn. So comprehension, it's
Learning curve is a flat line.
It's like handing a monkey
Learning
a
line.
baseball and asking him to go strike out Shohei Ohtani. There's no point. Putting this same group with the same leadership out time and time and time and time again, there's no change. Why are we not playing Albert Johansson? Why is Eric Gustafsson and Justin Hall still the bottom pair? You traded Oli Mata to keep Albert Johansson and Marco Kasper in the NHL. Why are you only playing one of them? What the fuck was the actual point of giving away a guy who made Finland's Four Nations roster? Why are we here? I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
You need a trash can to kick?
Damn near.
What? No, don't offer my trash can up
I
like
wasn't.
that.
Alright,
That's a Letterkenny reference. Don't worry about it.
it's okay, baby girl.
Letterkenny's not even that good.
This jersey is sick. It makes me feel sick to wear. This team is pissing me off.
So,
At this point, Red Wings play Buffalo tonight. Start Kosa. I don't give a fuck.
so
We need something.
So the Red Wings haven't been doing so good, but so surely, Michigan hockey kind of helped alleviate some of that pain this past weekend, right?
6-0 loss on the 6th, 2-0 loss on the 7th. It was against Minnesota, and like I said, they always have a really good hockey club. That doesn't even surprise me. I am surprised that there was not a single goal scored for U of M in 2 games. However, fucking Minnesota. Minnesota! Thank you.
Soda.
Yeah, the Golden Gophers have always had a good roster, and it looks like this year is no different. A little bit of a rough start. I don't really know what their start of season schedule looked like, but I expected them to be somewhere in the top 5. Them being 6 clearly pissed them off. U of M felt the brunt of that this weekend.
Clearly.
I would mention the goal scorers, except...
There was none. Moving over to women's basketball, the
Some
Wolverines
sword action.
took on the Northwestern Wildcats. They won 60-54. Probably not the game that should have had. Swords was not the leading scorer this game. It was Olivia Olson, 18
Okay.
points, 6 of 15 from the field. She was, however, the leading rebounder with 8
love to see it.
rebounds. Probably not a game that you would want to see against a then 4-3 Northwestern squad. But sometimes a win is a win. Just got to get out of there. Man, that's what they
Take the
did.
points you can.
And
Do it!
they jumped from 23 to 20 in the rankings. Moving over to the men's side, they had 2 games. They went and traveled to the 11th ranked Wisconsin Badgers, which I thought was going to be a tough game for them to play. They pulled it out. They 67-64. The
Okay.
combination of Vlad and Danny is starting to show some strengths there, especially with how Danny's handling of the basketball, and it's very point guard-esque, and the fact that he is 7 foot, not 6 foot, gives him the ability to pass the ball a lot easier to Vlad inside the paint. And then they took on Iowa. They won 85-83, a game.
That game I watched, and that was a solid game.
It was a solid game, but Iowa's a solid team. McCaffrey's always got a solid team there in Iowa.
I thought his leg didn't work.
Ain't gonna work for much longer.
But they're taking on Arkansas Tuesday, recording Monday, so obviously we won't be able to review that game. They do got a tough game next week, which we'll get into in the preview. Came out, Michigan's bowl game. Oh, before we get to bowl game, early signing day wrapped and finished. Michigan finished 7th or 8th in the early signing period. Huh?
I think it was 8th.
8th, yeah, I think so. 8th in the early signing period.
I think it was 9.
Recruiting class.
I think it was
Thank you, Sam.
100th.
I think it was.
I think they finished dead fucking last.
This guy's a D1
This
hater.
guy doesn't get it.
This guy failed math.
They signed a bunch of 0 stars.
I signed a negative 3-star recruit, actually, and I gave him to you.
But then we waited for the conference championship games to be played. The bowl games were to be announced Sunday. I kind of had a thought of like maybe Ole Miss, an outside chance. I was more so expecting like a Florida, or really was hoping for an LSU matchup. I thought that would have been electric. Michigan's never played LSU. Plus, there's the whole Bryce Underwood story of him flipping from LSU to Michigan.
That narrative would go hard.
I think it would have been a pretty intriguing matchup to see. However, Michigan gets scheduled to play the first team out of the playoffs, the 11th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide.
Milrow gonna let a naysayer know.
Early lines is Alabama 11.5 point favorites, over under of 43.5. This is the second time Michigan will play Alabama this calendar year.
Milrow wants his revenge.
Will Milrow
He
play?
wants it all. Yeah, he's returning for next year, so he's probably gonna play. He's not going to the draft.
Throwing a bunch of hissy fits like Florida State did last year after they took Florida State's spot. What comes around goes around, I guess.
Don't list 2 6-6 teams.
I'm still relatively new to the college football scene. How absurd is it that Alabama is not currently in the playoffs?
Not that absurd.
Okay.
Brand wise, very absurd. To
Yeah.
a legit ball knower, not absurd at all.
yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's.
And I know my boy Colby no ball.
Speaking about brand, that's exactly why Michigan is playing Alabama in this bowl game. It's arguably two of the biggest brands in college football. At least top
It's
five.
a
in terms
cursive
of
A
brands.
and a block M.
Yeah.
Recognizable.
Two of the like winningest teams, so there's a lot there. Like it's gonna get the viewership regardless. So I get why they did it. It's just a little annoying that you have a team that was this close to making the playoffs playing a team that
Wasn't even close.
was 7-5. So just a little annoying, but we can shift over to the Sparty side of it.
Sparty Hardy. Bing bong.
Not super in tune with the women's basketball. However, we will take a look at them. They only played one game in the course of our review here against DePaul. 89-61.
Which Paul?
They
Go
are
Paul.
Chris Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
They
Lakers in
are
5.
Duh.
9-0. Currently number 17 in the nation.
Let's go.
Leading point scorer for this game
She better have a gangster ass name.
was Jaden Simmons.
No side of swords. If you
That's
ask me.
not
It
up
is
to
no
the caliber of
Silent
sword.
With 18 points.
Ain't winning no name awards here.
18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. And then the leading
Solid
point scorer
performance,
for
though.
the year, Julia Arialt.
Ariel?
Ariel.
Yeah, I think Ariel.
She's the leading point scorer for the Michigan State Spartans women's basketball team for the year. Had 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists as a guard. Cool. How the fuck you getting 12 rebounds as a guard? The fuck?
Talent.
Jeez.
Pure grit.
That's my point guard right there.
That's about it. Those kind of seem like the big dogs of the team right there. Shot 50% from 3, 50.8% from the field. Paul also shot 50% from 3, but not super well from 3 at 28.8%. So they just shot better. Lol.
Hold this.
I think you guys finished like 53rd in the early signing period rankings, and in terms of football, the early signing period. I think that's. I don't know if that's accounting the 4-star that you guys flipped though.
Ooh,
Last I
4-star,
checked,
what
it
position?
didn't. Running back,
There,
right?
depends on what site you look at. Chase Clearsdale was either a high 3-star or a low 4-star. There was the oh my God, he's the Oregon State signee 2 years ago. Went on a mission trip. His name is like, I think it's Leonard Ayu. Pretty sure from Hawaii.
As opposed to Brandon Ayuk.
So he is coming to Michigan State with all 4 years of eligibility after a 2-year mission trip. So bro's going to be almost a NFL-sized body out there.
Oh.
Which is kinda nice. And then there's another handful of guys who are borderline 3-4 stars, like Derek Simmons from Frankie Muth. Then you have Leo Hannon, who I'm kind of excited for after maybe life after Aiden Child's there. 3-star QB from California, was committed to us since February, I believe, and never
Wow.
wavered. So excited to see. Clearly, he's about the program. Excited to see what he can turn into. I'm very excited for Jace Clearsdale. I've seen his tape because he's from East Lansing.
Yeah,
So the fact that we were able to flip him back from Bama.
that's big.
And then there's another high 3-star / low 4-star cornerback, Aiden West. Had
So you
been
said
committed to us.
cornerback?
Yeah, cornerback.
Okay.
Had been committed to us for a long, long time. Crystal balls got put in for Virginia Tech at first because they started going hard on him. And then the crystal balls for Ohio State started coming in because they were going even harder on him. He never wavered. Stuck through, never decommitted. Unlike Jace decommitted and then flipped on signing day. So 2 big recruiting wins for Jonathan Smith's first year. I mean, they're 3 stars. So yeah, talk your shit if you want. However, you just beat Bama going in for running back, and you just beat Ohio State going all in for a 3-star cornerback. So it's something to be said.
We're also a grow the team kind of team. We're not.
Well,
Pulling.
it's a rebuild because
Yeah.
it was a dumpster fire. The fact that we got 5 wins is probably a miracle.
But it's also we're not.
They
Alabama,
currently
just-
only listed as a 3-star program.
Look for the transfer portal to be hot. But
I thought they would
Hot
put the
chocolate.
fajitas away. That's
moving into January, February, Izzo. It's against the men's basketball team. Don't shake your head, bitch. He owns your sorry program.
What has he done in March?
Everything.
I'm pretty sure he coached some basketball games.
Lost.
I could be
Gone to a
wrong.
natty. Gone to Elite Fours. Gone to
But
Elite
oh,
Eights. Fuck.
Does that not constitute
Fours.
coaching basketball?
That was a great part. First game we have to review. Your Michigan State Spartans took on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Took them down 90 to
the
72.
Golden Gophers.
This was more of a team play game. The shooting is there. It's there. The shooting is here finally. Michigan State
We
shoots
found it.
50% from the 3.
Sorry, it was in my other pocket.
7% from the field.
Mother
Leading
pants.
point scorers were Cohen Carr off the bench with 12. Xavier Booker off the bench with 11. Jackson Kohler with 11. Jackson Kohler also had 11 rebounds, so he had himself a double-double. That was his
Good for him.
best career night ever, actually. Fun fact. Bro has arrived.
Bro has arrived.
Jeremy
bus was
Fears
a little late.
with 10 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, so running the team. He's doing a great job being the quarterback for this team. They're at the key. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, this team looks so good. Moving
Bro has found
in
hope in sports.
to probably their most dominant win, most best looking win against the then 6-1 Nebraska. Take down the Nebraska Cornhuskers 89 to 52. 37-point win. I didn't watch this game as much just because I was watching a little bit of college football on the side.
It was the time for it.
However, this was big dog. Finally became the big dog. Jaden Akins, 5 for 10 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, no fouls. That's my number 1 option right there. And then you get Chase Richardson, of course, 16 points, 5 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. Spartans shot 39.1% from 3 in this game, 51.8% from the field. So the shooting has gotten there. It's finally being consistent. I think the results are now coming from being that consistent.
Oh yeah.
Kohler with 8 points, 12 rebounds. Dude's a board monster. Going for 8 points, pretty much all just throw him up, let him dunk him down. Flight 55, baby.
Oh,
And now your Spartans now sit at number 21 in the AP poll.
good for them. Good for them.
Oh.
Some Sparty hockey.
Did we mention Michigan at 14?
Oh, yeah. Michigan is 14th in the men's AP poll. I forgot to say that. I said the women's, not the men's.
Hit him
Got
with the
some-
hockey.
Got some Sparty hockey. We took our second loss of the year
Tough.
to Wisconsin.
Just can't.
Not a bad
Oh,
team
it-
to lose to, all things
No,
considered.
no, all things considered. It was a 4-0 loss, though. Bit of a BTA.
Not a good look. I wonder if they started Trey Augustine. Because their goalie's been their fucking superhero this year. Red Wings draft pick, by the way.
We did come back in the second game against Wisconsin, 3-2 in overtime.
Bang! You love an OT thriller in college hockey. That shit's so fun.
We did move down in the AP standings, but the top four, it was just a shift around of all four of them. Like, I think,
I take it Denver's back on top. I think it's either Denver or Boston College. I can't remember which.
Denver,
Get your big dogs.
Minnesota.
Gonna eat.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, Boston College, Michigan State.
Wow,
Denver.
those 2 wins were huge this
At
weekend.
least we got our ass kicked by number one.
Yeah,
Happens.
1 and 2 went down to 3 and 4. 3 and 4 went up to 2 and 1.
Well, there you go then.
Pretty good football.
But, gentlemen, I don't think any of us really cooked that much this past week.
Oh hell no! I got sold by the Bills. I would have hit every other leg if the Bills had fucking won the game.
I'm sitting on. I'm just waiting for the Bengals.
Once again,
To beat
Stafford
Dallas.
running up and fucking me. Why is Puka Nacua so good? Upsetting.
You guys might have to call the fire department. We're cooking some mean burnt dishes in the kitchen. So call them soon. We're not doing so hot. But
I might hit mine.
I might hit mine.
I
Mine
think
might hit.
on the stock market, we're doing a little bit better here.
Stonks.
Stork.
Tony, how'd you do?
I think I did all right. I mean,
Let's-
it was last week that it was. I went fully Michigan and didn't actually like do what I was supposed to, right?
yeah, you
Yeah.
Illich and MSU hockey were on your.
You know, a little disappointed MSU hockey. They did go 1-1 on the weekend, but the shutout in the first game kind of has me worried because I didn't think that was something the program was going to be about this year. Granted, they don't play that many games, but and yeah, I will continue to sell on Chris Illich till the day I die or the day he proves me wrong. So, that one I guarantee to hit. Go fuck yourself, Chris.
I sold twice. I sold on the 49ers, which, I mean, they put
Hey.
belt ass to the Bears, so that.
Gee, are we really surprised?
And then I also sold on the American Conference. Yeah, they did not get a player into the playoff, which, it is what it
Oh, well.
is. Kind of sucks, but
Life comes at you fast, Baba.
it does. Colby, how'd you do in the stock market?
I say pretty good. I bought on the future MSU football. Guess what? Beat Bama. Beat Ohio State.
That
And
second one's the only one I care about.
we got Josh Thompson, one of the top guard/tackles in the portal, to visit us tomorrow, Tuesday.
Well, there you go.
But he's ain't going on a lot of fucking visits.
Fair enough.
And
No,
then
I think that's a good buy.
I sold on UConn basketball. They are now up in the rankings to 18. They won
That's
all
a
their
basketball
games.
school.
Granted, one of them was to a nobody. They beat Baylor at home. I think was this. Which one? It's the Big 12 Big East battle.
The Big 12 or the Big 74?
No,
No, it's
this,
the Big
this-
10 that has like
that was
982
at
teams.
home for them.
They
And
only have
then
18.
they went to Texas and beat Texas. I have no clue how good Texas' team is this year.
I don't. I
Well,
don't
good
know.
enough
They're
to
usually
play
decent.
UConn,
7-2,
I guess.
but they weren't ranked at the time. So I don't know. I think I still did pretty good. I don't believe in UConn this year. I don't believe in Dan Hurley. I think he's a bitch.
Well, the Lakers didn't take their coach for a reason.
No, they got basketball psycho. JJ Redick, basketball psycho.
Samuel, how'd you do?
That guy eats glue.
I bought in on the Bears, but this is a long-term buy, so
Oh yeah, no,
buying low.
you were not expecting an immediate return.
I was not expecting a return.
Bro was picking up.
a long time.
Bro was picking up penny stocks.
I also took a little second to glaze on my boy Josh Allen.
Look,
That's
okay.
always a dub when you pick Josh Allen. It's
yeah,
a win no matter
you
what
can't
happens.
lose with him. They may have lost to the Rams, but good God, that guy is a different breed of athlete.
You'll lose this week,
Yeah.
Bubba.
Hey,
Almost 400 yards. Almost 100 yards rushing. 3
Dude.
rushing touchdowns. Girl scored 71.
the cheek sneak, I believe, is what they've dubbed that.
Crazy.
It's so bizarre. But if you think about it, right? We beat the Rams, and the Bills got beat by the Rams. Thus, the Lions are better than the Bills.
That's not how that works.
Hey, let me dream, okay?
We'll
find out.
We'll have it
Play
proven. Yeah, we'll have it proven on Sunday.
Let me make a funny narrative to help me sleep at night, okay?
Parody's a hell of a thing.
But Sam, who would you spotlight?
Oh, shit.
Which game did you spotlight?
I spotlight the Browns Steelers. It was a revenge game for the Steelers.
Well,
I was hoping
It was a snoozer of a game. I
was
fell
a bit of a
asleep watching
snoozer.
that game. Not gonna lie.
This is a little BTA.
It was like, what, 27-14?
Yeah.
That's
But
our
it was
normal
not
sleep
that close for a
atmosphere.
while. It was 27-3 for a while.
The score. That's one where it's a belt to ass, but the score is deceiving.
You hit some, you lose some. I still have more what's cooking dubs in these chuckleheads, so.
You're beating me by
Yeah.
one, Bubba. Don't get too cocky.
I might be too. Who's playing Minecraft?
Playing Minecraft music right now.
I have no clue why this is happening. I'm just on my notes.
Guys, it was meant to be.
Colby.
Do we get copyrighted for that? Can we just
Dude,
put
I'm
it in
about
the
to go to
background of the
sleep
video?
now.
There's nothing on my phone that can play this.
Oh,
it was
oh.
TikTok. Anyways,
That shit put me to sleep.
You know what that's a sign for? Go follow us on TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram. We have a Twitter. We don't use it yet, but follow it.
that was really weird. Anyways,
Look
I
at the TikTok,
spotted
especially your mom.
SMU Clemson,
Ooh.
and didn't look good at first, and then guess who came storming back before losing?
The Ponycocks.
So,
You can only put so much faith in the
just for the
Buckeyes.
second half of that game. I feel like it's pretty good
Yeah,
spotlight.
it was a pretty good spotlight.
34-31.
Respectfully.
I
Where's the Lions? Packers? Crazy.
spotlit the UNLV Boise State game. I was hoping for a good second game. Nah, Boise State kind of just controlled that game and did whatever they wanted. They're like, yeah,
State.
we're gonna get Genty.
Genty State goes
Yeah.
crazy.
We're gonna get Genty as
You think
close
that's a
to
custom
we can.
team in college football already? Is Genty State?
Absolutely.
It has to
Probably.
be, right?
Tony.
I highlighted the Red Wings Avalanche game. Not the result I had hoped for, but it was a well-fought game through and through with a potent offense led by Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and Cale Makar. There's only so much you can do. We held them to 2 goals with a fucking third-string goalie. I think that's pretty good. We did only score 1, but, you know, Alex Georgiev had to win a game someday. And fuck, we only lit him up for like 30-something shots in the first 2 periods. Good lord, that poor guy. Yeah, and then in the third period, we died and had no hope. But they didn't score anymore, so it was a snoozer of a game, but I don't think it was played poorly by either side. So, like, the true hockey analyst would find that fun. I thought it was entertaining. I think Zach fell asleep when I put it on the TV.
Gentlemen, it's time.
It is time.
Your Detroit Lions took on the Green Bay Packers Thursday Night Football. Final score, Detroit Lions 34, Green Bay Packers 31. Total yards, Lions had 391, Packers had 298. Passing yards, Lions had 280, Lions had 280, Packers had 199. Rushing yards, Lions had 111, Packers had 99. Both teams turned over the ball once. The real backbreaker of the stat line right here is the Packers had ball for 23 minutes, 54 seconds, 24 minutes. Lions had the ball for 36 minutes, 6 seconds, 36 minutes. Jumping over to some of the player stat lines, Goff went 32 of 41, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an INT. Only sacked once. Monty carried the ball 14 times, 51 yards, 3.6 average, and a tutty. Gibbs, 15 carries, 43 yards, 2.9 average. JMO was the leading receiver with 5 receptions, 80 yards, no tutties. Laporta had 5 receptions, 54 yards. Tim Patrick, 6 receptions, 43 yards, 2 tutties. Amon-Ra also had 5 receptions for 43 yards. What a game this was.
The Lions just have such a beautiful way of running the clock on you and bleeding all the hope and momentum from your heart.
As Joel Klatt liked to say about the Michigan team in 2023, they're just like a... I'm blanking on it now.
But
they'll boa constrictor. They kind of
I thought I knew where you were
take the life out of you. They'll just
squeeze and squeeze and squeeze till you just
yeah,
got nothing
push
left.
and push and push and until you got nothing left, and they'll
It's just
kind of dictate the way the game's played and kind
Don't
of
get
do
me
whatever
wrong.
they want.
Packers, I think, played a good game. But the amount of Packers fans I see crying about the officiating. You lost to a defense that had a starter who left this game and 2 guys who were in free agency a week ago.
Yeah.
Shut up!
My girl's a Packers fan, and I was roasting. I'm like, you backups! You have 2 fucking backups!
They,
Shut your ass up!
they want to complain about the refs. I'll pull up the slideshow of the Lions against the refs and Packers. The
Yes.
history of all that. So it's like I don't really care.
Genuinely
Yes.
cry hard.
I'll
I don't care for your goofy narratives.
I'll
shut
say
up.
the same thing that the Packers fans would look at us and deadpan and say to the Lions fans and say, well, you got to play better than that. You still got to overcome that and play better than that. So same thing. Kudos or ditto to you.
Yeah, I don't want this fan base to ever forget that this is the fan base that in Lambeau, 2008 when they beat the Lions, were chanting 0-16, all collectively throughout Lambeau. 0-16 rang throughout the field, throughout the concourse. So when you sit here and I'm chronically addicted to Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. When you sit here and call Lions fans like pieces of shit and all this and that for talking their shit,
You built this culture.
Like, you had us under the heel of your boot for so goddamn long, and you were the exact same way to us. You can't let the rest dictate it.
Unapologetic.
You got to play better. You got to build a better team. I'm sorry.
Unironically
Sorry.
scumbags.
My favorite thing is that they're like,
It hurts to get the shit thrown back at you, don't it?
at the end of last season, beginning of this one, they're like, you had one good season, now you don't know how to act. I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all ain't at the top anymore, and y'all don't know how to act now.
Yep.
I'm like, y'all
How does it
just
feel to be
bitch-
3rd in the division, pussy?
I'm like, y'all just bitching. I'm like, you do realize every sports team, fun fact, every sports team is bad at one point, and then they are good at another. And then they're about middling for a while, then they're back up to good. You go through ebbs and flows. You ride the wave. I have a feeling that when teams are too good for too long, the fans become insufferable. Ohio State
Kind of
fans.
happens when you have back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks and then who they're proclaiming as a third. Who, by the way, I'm not buying. Sorry, I don't think Jordan Love's that good.
Oh no, I'll buy into it just to make them feel worse about themselves that they had 3 Hall of Fame QBs and only 2 Super Bowls to shoot for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
No, that is a funny
I'll buy.
narrative.
I'll buy the
Look,
calling
Aaron
Hall of Fame
Rodgers.
QB just
Look,
for that.
The thing that gets me the most when it comes to Packer fans is you can watch them deadpan look at like a Patriots or Steelers fan and go, world championships, world championships, they matter. But then you can also watch them deadpan look at a Lions fan and go, Super Bowls are the only thing that matter. Super Bowls. Nope, only Super Bowls. I don't care about the world championships. But then they'll,
Championship before the Super Bowl.
That's why your stadium ain't got no roof. You sit on bleachers and you have 14 smokers next to you. Shut up.
college
The
stadium.
Lions are 4-time world champions if we want to go there. Like,
yeah.
Poverty ass franchise.
it's not like the
you
Lions
got
have never
one.
not been at the top.
No.
It's
You
been
what?
a
They only got
fucking
one
long
Super
time.
Bowl with Rodgers, and how many with Brett Favre? Okay, so 2.
Noon.
Cool, great. How many fucking years was that?
Are they only at 4?
Sit over there.
Four, yeah.
See that corner of bitches who don't give a fuck what you think? Go join them. No one cares over here.
You're trailing the Steelers and the Patriots by 2.
Ooh.
They both have 6.
You're losing to the Steelers
And I think the Giants have 5, don't they?
Giants also have 4.
They have 4. So the Cowboys have 5 then?
The Cowboys have 5. I think the Niners also have 4.
Well, the
Four.
Cowboys
Five.
were good consistently for a while. But.
Hey guys, Alex DeBrincat scored. Anyway, continue.
Another thing I see a lot on Twitter is them calling us their 4th best rival by going Bears, Vikings.
I'm sorry, did you just start that
Niners.
sentence with Bears?
Yes,
Bears are
because that's a
Packers.
blood. That is
That
straight
is.
blood. Bears, Vikings, Niners, Lions.
You chose a motherfucker outside of this division
No,
as a bigger rival.
no. They call it a rivalry because they can't fucking beat them.
Let's say.
Oh, it's not a rivalry.
They
It's
just can't.
spite.
They just can't beat them.
We can't beat these fuckers.
We can't beat this motherfucking
So-
team.
I want to kind of tell a little story here. Tony knows this story. We have a coworker, Packers fan. He kept going all leading up to before. I'm rooting for the Lions. I'm rooting for the Lions because of history. This, whatever. We get to the day after. He's like, "That's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted." And today, explain to me why I hear this motherfucker still bitching about the refs.
Wham,
It's like, I thought you wanted this.
Fucking wham.
I thought you wanted it. You got exactly what you wanted.
He had a whole like dialogue about imagine if we had our second running back and he hasn't been injured all year.
Imagine if I
Don't you
had
have
my
Josh
starting
Dobbs?
defensive line.
I'm sorry. Didn't your running back have 3 touchdowns in this game?
Yeah.
How many are running back? Oh. Gibby didn't get one in this one, did he? Huh.
He didn't?
Mm-mm.
It feels like
Damn,
he
I
did.
thought
I feel
he
like
got
we're
the
just
passing
used to
touchdown.
saying that Gibby got one.
Not a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got past the touchdown.
I was
Yeah.
just counting
I was about to
in
say,
general for our
See,
running
that's-
backs.
The bet
Okay.
that I placed says-
That's what you're. That's where you,
I put down.
that's where you threw me off because Jacobs were all rushing touchdowns.
Andrew Cobb 2-1.
Yeah,
Continue.
if you're gonna cry about not having AJ Dillon for most of the year, how do you think Lions
No,
fans
he
feel
wasn't.
about
He
most
wasn't
of
even talking about AJ Dillon. He was talking about the rookie.
Yeah. Bro was talking about the guy they just
the
drafted.
USC running back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, anybody can be hurt. You shouldn't be using your bad defense as an excuse.
Motherfucker, we lost everybody other than our safeties.
Also,
What?
shout out for everyone calling Kirby dirty, but then the moment someone dives right into Montgomery's head or knees with their head,
It's a clean tackle. He's not
Clean.
launching himself like a torpedo.
that wasn't the first thing that made contact. His arms were around it, so like that's not as impactful.
I think the funniest thing about it is that Vikings fans are the ones who have the biggest gripe with it. When literally their own safety, Harrison Smith, came out at the beginning of the year and said, "Yeah, I see nothing wrong with it. He's not playing dirty. That's how
No,
you tackle."
he
as
is a
safety."
smaller guy going after a bigger guy. You get leverage on the hip.
More or less, that's exactly what your Harrison Smith said.
Exactly.
And Harrison Smith is known
That
for
is-
laying out some disgusting.
Yeah.
That is how a smaller safety plays the game.
That's called physics, motherfuckers.
Brian
That's called
Branch
physics.
is just an absolute unit and flies at the speed of a Camaro on the highway. He just hits people.
Look, I'm not like making fun of none of our way here, but if Sam wanted to tackle any one of us, I don't expect him to go high on us. He has to go low.
Exactly.
He
That
has
is
to.
physics.
We all have pretty much 100 pounds on him. Let's be straight here. Sam's a fucking twink. Look at him.
I only have 87. No.
Look at him. Look at him. This is a little guy.
Look at the pose. Oh,
Oh,
mic down.
No, just there you go. Yeah, bro's a twig. I would expect him to go after my legs.
You can see my ribs.
I don't expect him to bite my ankles like a chihuahua.
I am a 23-year-old man, and you can see my ribs.
Also,
Clearly.
the hit they're trying to claim that Tucker Kraft that was dirty by Kirby, literally he's going for the thighs.
He's going for the thighs, and didn't he miss?
he missed.
Yeah.
Like,
Kraft got tackled by another guy out of bounds. You see Kirby fly through.
what I don't understand is that is how Kirby makes pretty much every tackle. Is he goes for the thighs, and
Yup.
then it's
like the thigh hip area.
Straight coincidence that it happened within
Well-
a few weeks of each other, being Hawkinson and Higbee getting their fucking.
Well, the
knees
Matthew
blown out by
Stafford
him.
to Higbee one, that was a
Like-
hospital ball.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was pure.
That doesn't
hospital
get
ball.
talked about enough. That was a pure suicide pass.
Like,
That's terrible.
I'll never understand it because you can see he initiates going towards the thigh.
Also, for all the other fan bases, if it's that big of an issue, where's the fines?
Where is the fines?
Yeah.
Shouldn't there be a suspension or perhaps Brian Branch-esque an ejection?
Yeah, the
Where would
NFL
those be?
The NFL reviews all film, and then that's when they decide fines. Like, fun fact, J-Mo throwing the ball at Tyreek Stevenson's face. J-Mo didn't get fined for that. You know who did? Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah, he got,
Did he
got fined for
actually?
Yeah,
tripping
he
him.
got
Yeah.
fined.
What good? Okay, that
He got fined $20,000
because you trip him going out of bounds.
which tells me somebody was mic'd up and they heard what he said.
No, that makes
And you
me
could
feel better
see
about
they
that whole
tripped him,
situation.
too.
You know what? Did J-Mo not play in this game?
He was the leading receiver.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I didn't see him like no, okay, I'm remembering now.
He had
Never
like
mind.
5 catches, I think.
I was too busy on
Six,
recording things for the vlog that my
Mhm.
brain is like, oh, I only remember Amon Ra and Tim Patrick. But fuck, Timmy had a game.
Give me 210.
Oh,
Timmy-
Feel good for him, especially after that interview post game.
dude, that made my heart happy.
That was like Jamal when he broke Barry Sanders' record for
Yeah.
most rushing touchdowns in the season.
Don't let these tears fool you. I still got that dog in me.
No, it's don't let these tears fool you. It's still all dog around this mug.
There it is. Yep, that was it.
Detroit Lions, baby. I
Oh,
miss Jamal.
man. Is it bad that I
First
want him
strike
back as RB3?
What a locker room presence, dude.
Locker room guy.
You think
RB3, that's my guy.
You think the complete opposite of locker room cancer? That's Jamal.
Yeah.
Williams. Absolute opposite of it.
I
So
wholeheartedly agree with that.
He would be the tails.
I think we are missing a lot
think
here
that
in this Lions game. The biggest one of all is we need to acknowledge the massive nutsack that Dan Campbell
Oh yeah.
laid out on the field for Matt.
that needs to
LaFleur.
be talked about. So
Um,
you could just go for the field goal.
yeah, nope. We went 4 for 5 on 4th down. By the way,
That's hot. But you could go for the field goal there. Leave like 30 some odd seconds on the clock for the Packers to do something and hope Aaron Glenn's masterclass shuts him down. Dan Campbell's like, nah, fuck you. I want 1 second on that clock before we make this kick. Monty, do what you do.
Yep.
And on that play, for those of you who have not heard the logical side of this argument yet, no opposing player made contact with Jared Goff.
he also did not give himself up.
He was not down. His O-lineman stepped on his foot, and he turns to hand the ball to Monty, knee on ground, getting back up. He's not down. Read a book.
He if there's anyone that knows rules about sports, it's this motherfucker.
I'm the referee.
Yeah, people are specifically.
It took me 8 seconds to Google that rule and find the reference. What's your excuse, Green Bay fans?
Literally,
Oh,
it's
you're ignorant and stupid? Have fun in third.
it's quite known that you need to at least touch them when they're down.
Exactly. It's not the college rules. It is you need to have opposing pressure. And he didn't give himself up to the hit. He wasn't intentionally like taking a knee. It wasn't a fake knee. He got his foot stepped on by the O-line. It was Ragnow, wasn't it?
No, I think it was.
Ragnow or Skipper?
No, it was
Zeitler.
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Adler's on the right side.
Okay, so yeah.
It was an owl guy.
It was one of the offensive linemen.
It was one of them big boys up front.
It was one of them big
I don't understand the argument that, well, it should have been down. That play should have been called dead.
Yeah,
Motherfucker, we'd have beat you in overtime anyway.
That's what you don't understand. What I understand is people, specifically Emmanuel Acho, calling Dan Campbell asinine for the way that he coaches. When,
I beg your pardon?
fun fact, the most of the Lions' 4th down attempts have come from this game and the Buccaneers game. The Lions are actually towards the bottom of the NFL when it comes to 4th down attempts this season. So the fact that you're calling Dan Campbell asinine for going for it on 4th down so often is purely it's not factual. It's not.
I will never understand the Dan Campbell slander. How do you hear this man talk and be like, I don't like him?
shout out to one of football's goats in coaching, Nick Saban, for backing up Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
That's
just
well
end-
said.
Yeah, you choose to end the game. That's how he coaches. He wants
Yeah.
to finish it.
He said, motherfucker, OT irrelevant. Show me a 4th and 1 absolute power rush followed by automatic.
Also, it's 4th and
Good night.
inches.
Or even like
4th in pissing distance. Why would you not go for that?
today,
4th in the amount I'm about to cut my hair off. Like, come on now.
Teddy Bruschi on ESPN said it's time for Dan Campbell to start coaching like one of the top dogs in this league because
He is. We are 12-1.
Like if he wasn't coaching like one of the top dogs, he went out turned this team in 3 years into a 12-1 team.
Seriously, the 0-9 start, or not 0-9. What was it?
How fast this rebuild has gone? It needs to be said. Like in the 4th year that you're this dominant,
Hard.
There
Shit
was
goes hard.
there was the like 11-1 start the first season, the 1-6 start the second season, and now we're here, a 12-1 start,
Yeah, it was what 2-12-1,
3-13-1.
3-13-1. Then it was 9-8,
and then 12-5,
12-5.
and now we're 12-1.
We're only going upwards at exponential rates.
Motherfucker,
Increments-
they hit 16-0 in 2 years. Watch
Increments
this.
of
17.
increments of 3, so 15-2 is what the math or what history is showing with Dan Campbell. He likes his
mathing.
threes.
The math is mathing. Somebody call a statistician.
They're gonna have to put it up to 18 games a season for
Technically,
this man.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
actually highly
I
considering.
know
Yeah.
they are.
It's so stupid.
but
You can't do that with a.
I
It's
think,
gonna be a Super Bowl in
I
March.
think we've talked long enough about the Lions. We can let you folks have the rest of your evening, but before we let you do that, make sure you go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Once we get that up and running, Twitch. Don't forget
Mittcast
that.
live, baby.
Mittcast Live.
We had our first stream this last Friday, and through all the technical difficulties, I had a blast, and I'm looking forward to doing it more. Video games, tomfoolery, some faces you guys haven't seen yet.
Voices you ain't heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. Lots of relaxed gaming. We're gonna have a good time.
Also, next, I'm gonna give you some crazy ass fucking takes throughout the day.
Hell,
Make sure
God.
you like, subscribe, you send it to your friends, family, but most importantly,
hit the bell.
hit that bell.
The real subscribe button.
And we'll catch you next time, folks. Yeah.